I love your Aaron Rodgers hairdo. You look
It's
sweet.
it's the humidity. Look at
Oh, my
it.
God. Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
Now he really does look like one of the Three Stooges.
Yes,
he really does there.
Yep, Larry. Just seriously.
Hey everybody, welcome to Krush House. I am Frank Nicotero, still in Pittsburgh and drinking like Nikita Kucherov after winning his second Stanley Cup in Tampa Bay. Coming up later on today, Wayne Allyn Root will be discussing the NFL with our very own Sean Salisbury and his favorite 1-800 number in Las Vegas. And I just mentioned him here as always, our favorite co-host, Sean Salisbury, in the 702. And get this, holy hell, also in the 702 Las Vegas for the start of the Big Three tourney this weekend is our own NBA legend, the baddest bad boy of them all. It is Rick Mahorn. Now, I just want to say this, guys. I'm not a player like you, but I crush a lot. Oh, what's up? Big pun! Big pun reference. All right, let's get crushing. Last night...
Is that Dr. Pepper or red wine?
It's Dr. Pepper! Diet. All right, listen, let's talk about the NBA Finals Game 2 last night. Devin Booker wrote Be Legendary on his shoes. 31 points, 7 3-pointers. Giannis was insane, right? He set a record with 20 points in the third. Kobe had been the last guy to do 20 points in a quarter in a final. I don't know, man. Giannis played his best game, but the Suns had more. Rick, what do you think of these Suns?
You know, it's funny. I was watching that game in the airport, not in the airport, but on the airplane. And let me just say this to you. I thought Milwaukee came out with a lot of push, but it just seems like Monty Williams and those Phoenix Suns find a way to, counter it. And that's the fact that, you don't want to be relaxed. But you got to figure the Suns did their job. The Suns did their job. They protected the home base. And I'll tell you, Sean's son is cooking up some good.
Damn right. You're damn right. Matter of fact, he's going to go to Milwaukee and cook some up there, too, and keep on winning. Rick, I repeat this every week because you are so precise and so damn right on with this. Look at that game last night. Giannis hung 40-plus and was phenomenal. The other guys were shitty last night. They got their ass handed to them. Drew Holiday has not played well. Something's not right with his shot right now, Rick, and you could probably explain that. Chris Middleton I couldn't find him on the court. The other guys got in it, and you're in trouble when Giannis goes and throws 40 and what felt like 25 rebounds, but it wasn't that many. And the rest of the guys, it felt like they were standing around watching. And then the Suns got into it. They whooped their ass last night. And I'm telling you, Monty Williams is beating down Budenholzer when it comes to execution, game plan, and the players obviously have to back it. It's not disrespectful. It's just a fact. The Suns are the better team. I might have cheated them by saying Suns in 6. But if you don't get constant help from the other guys, as Rick's always said, last night it epitomized it. You look around, well, there's Giannis. Where's the other 4 cats? And then you look and you got Bridges and you got Booker and you got Chris Paul adding and 8. And it's a whole different world. The Suns are going to run away with this thing and be crowned world champions. It's no matchup right now. Giannis is the only reason they're floating.
Yeah, Giannis is the only reason they're floating. But, with Frank and Sean, I do say the other guys. But the thing is, you have 2 of the best guards that's been playing. And you got Drew Holiday and you got Chris Middleton. And it's like, okay, you're right about not finding Chris Middleton right now. But it's a struggle. Right. The adjustments that Monty Williams has done. They tried to search out Brook Lopez last night. They changed it up a little bit. They made sure that they hound dogged them with Drew Holiday a little longer with CP3. But that only wears you out because people like Mikal Bridges can shoot the ball. It's like they're so unselfish. They don't care who scores. That's the thing. It's like Giannis has to score for Milwaukee. It's like the adjustment. Giannis is an oddity in basketball. He's really a center playing like the power forward. When they do go to that small lineup, it makes it difficult on the Suns, but the adjustments are so late and in between. And I just don't know what Coach Budenholzer can do when they go to Milwaukee. They may feel like they're like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. It's no place like home. But shoot, it's like, man, please shit.
She might need a slipper, too.
Yeah.
Slippers ain't
she might need to borrow the Cinderella slipper and see if she can walk on the yellow brick road.
And some of those hallucinogens.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Frank, about that is in watching this and watching the dominance of the Phoenix Suns. With Giannis, can we please speed up the free throws? Can we stop? Can we friggin' stop?
Stop. You know what? Look. Just go up there. It's 10 seconds. And if the fact of the matter, but see, the crowd is into it. It's kind of fun. It's animation to me because the crowd really feels like they did something if he misses it. But my thing is, you know what? Shaquille O'Neal couldn't shoot free throws that well. Wilt Chamberlain couldn't shoot free throws that well. The thing is your dominance in the game. And Milwaukee did it right. They were in the painted area. They just couldn't hit no damn threes, and it was like
about Milwaukee. You know, Milwaukee was down in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were down 2 games and under the Nets, right? Now they're going back home. But this Nets team, they're not the Suns. The Suns are playing like a team like we've not seen in the playoffs. I think they're 14-4 right now. So, Rick, is there any way Milwaukee, down 2-love like they were to the Nets, can they come back and beat these Suns? I don't think they can.
I love the golden, when people say it's a bright spot. They've been down 2-0 before. You look at the Clippers. They were down 2-0 before they came back. Look, this is the NBA Finals. You're going each tier, you're going to get the better teams. Look, I just think, hey, Milwaukee's got to protect home. If they don't protect home, then they're going home. They're following the yellow brick road. That cheese road and that cheese curd is done. If they can't stop Chris Paul or even the Booker. And the thing is, you tried to stop Booker and you tried to stop Chris Paul, but then you got Mikal Bridges, and then you go with Jay Crowder. The three-pointer was on point. Yeah, they live by the 3. They may die by the 3. But the thing is, they also have Ayton, who's been in that painted area shooting over 80% from the floor. So now it's pick and choose your poison. Which one do you want? Do you want some of this or you want some of that? I just think right now Phoenix is on a mission, and they don't care. They're young. We talked about this on some other shows. Y'all said, they're too young to win. Nah, what the hell does young got to do with anything? They're professional basketball players. That's the shit you got to worry about. I get tired of hearing, the excuses. Fuck them excuses. This is basketball 101. If you can play, put up.
All right, guys, so let's move on to Olympic news. First of all, we're not going to have spectators in the Olympics, which is ridiculous. But what else we're not going to have in the race that we all love to watch, the 100 meters, is Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, she tested positive for marijuana, something that grows in the ground. She now can't run, but she might be able to run in the 4x100 because they backdated the suspension. So August 6th, if she gets selected, she might be able to have a shot at a medal. But I got to talk about medicinal marijuana, something that's been in sports forever. NBA players, NFL players, mostly, guys that are really banging. Baseball players, not so much, right? But marijuana, she's not allowed to run in the Olympics. What do we think of this, Sean? This is insane, or is it the rules?
Well, first of all, let's call it like we see it. Marijuana should not be illegal in any sport. It's horse shit. It's an awful rule. Listen, I wouldn't call myself an enthusiast, but I don't have a problem with all the knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries popping a gummy once in a blue moon to go to bed at night. I think it's absurd, and I know, listen, everybody else had to abide by this. That's the hard part about this. The rule sucks, but the rule's in place for everybody else, so it's not a free-for-all. And she knows she made a mistake. Would it be nice if we could say, listen, drop the rule now on the fly like baseball does with the stuff on the ball? Say, fuck it, man, we're going to let her run. I wish she was. The rule says if you test positive, you're screwed. And it happened, it happened to her. It's a bummer for us because she's a gold medal candidate. But more importantly, we got to look ahead and say, we've got to change this. Because I can tell you from opioids, guys, from surgeries. And Rick, I don't know if you've been there. After all the surgeries, I can remember taking Percocet for about 30 straight days because I had back surgery. And at the end of the day, I found myself on the floor by the toilet, felt like I was dying because I felt addicted to it. And it happened that fast. And that moment I thought, man, we got to find a different solution for guys Rick knows and I know and Frank. So whatever that is, if you're an enthusiast or not, I think it's bullshit the rule. But the truth of the matter is she broke the rule, and under the current rules, you can't run. And that's just the way it works. So we all got to abide by them. They do need to change, Rick.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with you, Sean. It's like, you deal with drugs that you can take and then drugs that you can't take. What's going to alter her from running. Marijuana is not one of those uppers where it's like they're giving you a steroid.
Yeah, like an opioid, Rick. Right, exactly.
No, it's the rule, and I understand they need to change that. And it's also you're going like marijuana. That's if you're Jamaican, you're going like Irish. They grew up smoking that shit. I mean, mean, it's sitting there. It's around the room. I mean, come on. It's something that will relax you. It ain't like she gonna run, oh, I'm running and I'm floating. I have another one, But the thing to me is that you want to use alternative, more conducive stuff that you won't be harmed later on in life. And Sean, and people out there, same with Frank, we hurt. And when you hurt, I need to get this, I need to get the oxy and all this stuff. This shit is ridiculous. Yep. Let's, change the rules. But you know what? Let's also let's forward think of how we want to approach taking care of our bodies after the sport.
I like that she owned up to it, though, Frank. And for Rick, she made a mistake and she knows it. She didn't try to say, well, it was secondhand smoke. It's from somebody else. I love her, man. I wish she was running. Like I said, the rule sucks, but unfortunately, everybody going to the Olympics had to follow it. Now, maybe they didn't. Maybe they were able to mask it better, but they're going and she's not, and it's a bummer for us and a bummer for her dream.
Now, Sean, you played in the NFL, and right now I'm going to bring Wayne in. I want to bring in Wayne Allyn. He's our boss. He's the guy we love, Wayne. You guys talked a little NFL earlier, and you talked about the Niners, and you talked about Matt Stafford, and you talked about Vegas. Let's hear what you guys talked about.
Hi, everyone. Wayne Allyn of VegasWinners.com. Great to be on the Krush House podcast. We sponsor this podcast, by the way, and it's great to be on with the great Sean Salisbury, former NFL quarterback, great college football quarterback, a man who knows the NFL, and I know NFL gambling and NFL point spreads and the NFL too. So we have a great repartee every week right here on Krush House. And I've got my handy cell phone with me, my iPhone, with all the biggest NFL news going on in the world today. So first of all, great to be on with you, Sean.
You too, Wayne. Thanks, brother. I always appreciate you.
So I see the big news story at NFL.com is I want the backstory from you. Why the 49ers head coach Shanahan is bitching about losing Stafford to the Rams and Sean McVay. Now, they're division rivals. Why would he want to talk out loud in public about losing a quarterback that he obviously wanted badly? He's salivating about. He's lamenting losing him. Why would Shanahan do something like that? Is this a mind game?
Well, maybe a little bit. And, he and McVay obviously have a relationship with the Rams. And it's that like coach's podcast. So a lot of times, Wayne, you notice when you're around your people you love, you'll start saying stuff that maybe say, well, maybe I'll back off a little. But Kyle's a very outspoken but confident guy. I love him. I love the way he approached this. But what it tells me, what happened was he was in Cabo with his girl, and just before when the Stafford talk was coming down, he was going to try to pull the trigger on it and have the 49ers pull it. Well, all of a sudden, somebody called him and said, no, you can wait till tomorrow. Go enjoy drinks and dinner. It's not going down. You'll still be in the mix, basically, and I'm paraphrasing. So he's in Cabo, goes out and has dinner and drinks. Lo and behold, Sean McVay pulled it off quicker than Kyle Shanahan did, so he's out having a blast in Cabo. That's on him. But it's funny about this is think about Jimmy Garoppolo and all this, Wayne. Here's your starting quarterback injured. Later on, they obviously go draft a guy. But what about if you're Jimmy Garoppolo? You knew right then and there Garoppolo has no future in San Francisco. If he does, it'll be immediate, and they'll make the change, obviously, to Trey Lance. But you miss out on Stafford, you go get the first rounder. Stafford would have made a difference for the 49ers this year like he's going to do with the Rams.
Well, here's the thing. It was a trade, right? And the Rams gave up the world to get Stafford. I don't know how the 49ers would have ever pulled off that trade because they'd already given up all their future number ones to get Trey Lance. So to me, it's a ridiculous story. He never could have gotten him. Had no shot.
Well, it would have taken draft picks, out there in front. And remember, Stafford also got to got to the Rams pre-draft. So they pulled this off and traded Jared Goff and gave away their pick as well. So, it would have been a very difficult pull-off. I think the hidden thing for me is it just tells me Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to be their quarterback. He wanted Stafford. They draft a first-rounder. Garoppolo's final season, if he even starts this year in San Francisco, he'll be playing somewhere else next year.
But what's weird is, I repeat, those are the picks they wound up using on Trey Lance. If you really wanted a great veteran quarterback, you should have pulled the trigger before the draft and used those same number 2 picks, number 2 years of number 1 picks to go get your Stafford. Why did you not do it before? And then why lament after you used them on Trey Lance? So it is what it is. I don't see the point of publicly airing it. But
Buddy's on a podcast, and Cabo does some strange things to you, Wayne. So most of them good. But you miss out on Stafford, and that's a hell of a division to be playing against. So Sean McVay, trumped Kyle Shanahan in this one, has a pretty good chance to win that damn division too.
I'll tell you the thing that I noticed about this whole thing is how different this generation is, right? When I was growing up, the NFL coaches were Tom Landry, Don Shula, Chuck Noll. Their faces were made out of granite. They never drank in public. They never talked loosely in public. They never hang out on a podcast. They wouldn't go to Cabo with their girlfriend. They didn't have girlfriends. They had wives of 30 years and 4 kids. These guys are so young, Shanahan and McVay, very young. These guys have hot girlfriends and hot young wives, and they go to Cabo and drink. That's what players used to do, not coaches.
And they put Super Bowl rings on their finger. They get paid $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year. They do their draft like Cliff Kingsbury. Maybe sitting in the backyard, maybe sitting in that nice spread in Scott. So the game has changed. The coaches are younger, and they are really, really good at what they do. And quite frankly, the innovativeness, Wayne, while I love some old school stuff, you never know what these cats are going to bring in. Sean and Kyle Shanahan are at the top of that list, obviously.
All right, so number 2 news story out there at NFL.com is about Aaron Rodgers. So first thing I'll ask you is, will he stay or will he go? Second thing, I said it, things are different with the coaches. They're young, they got hot girlfriends like the players. Aaron Rodgers was talking about mental illness and issues like that, and I've never heard any player openly discuss that. Was he hinting that he has his own mental issues and he should not have reached out in public and talked about being traded? I don't understand why you talk about that in public. Any thoughts?
I think it's different now, Wayne, than it used to be when it comes to that. Now, Aaron obviously, we watched him and Tom Brady and DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson have some fun playing golf. I don't know Aaron's thinking. Obviously, you look at his past and the family, well-documented public family situation and the fights that they're the in-house battles that they've had. And
yes.
I don't know. The inner workings of Aaron Rodgers are probably pretty complex. He's a great football player. And he's a great scorekeeper when it comes to, if you do him wrong, he's going to get you back on the field and wear you out. So I think we're different now, and I think I'm okay with it, Wayne. We've changed. It used to be taboo. Oh, you have some mental trouble, or you're struggling, you're going through depression. Everybody say you're not allowed to talk to that because it's a sign of weakness. I call bullshit. And I used to be the same way. But when you go through struggles or hit rock bottom, whatever that is, I think it's good to talk about it. And if Aaron Rodgers, who is at the top of his career and the reigning MVP, feels that he can talk about whether it's mental health or where he wants to play, why not? We're at a different time with social media. People want to talk about it. And if Aaron Rodgers talking about it helps somebody else, I don't have a problem. But Wayne, you are 100% correct. It's changed. And it's changed big time. And to answer your first part of it, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has taken another snap in Green Bay. I felt that for a while, going back to the scorekeeper part. I believe he's going to play somewhere else. Now, they may come and say, here's $50 million a year for 4 years, and that could change. And then we'll know it was about money. But when you start to think about the Broncos or can you imagine him with Sean Payton and the Saints, or with the Raiders, my guys, the Raiders? Because John Gruden loves star quarterbacks. So I don't think he's playing it now. He may not play it all this year, period. They may just say we're going to sit on it. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is long for Green Bay. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am in this case.
What do you think about the Raiders at home as a great bet every week because the other team is out getting drunk? And hey, we're on podcast. You can say what you want. Yeah. The other team's out getting laid. All right, well, if you're betting the Raiders out there, you know what to do. Just advertise, stick the flyers under the hotel room door. 1-800 to your room. Get what I mean?
There you go.
And the point spread the next day, well, we'll see. Sean, great to have
wherever you pick, I'm betting. I'm following you, brother.
Great to have you on this segment and great to be on this segment. It's an honor to be on Krush House. And remember, everybody, the insights you get here are from guys who understand football and football handicapping and point spreads. And all my picks are free at VegasWinners.com. VegasWinners.com. All you do is go there, give your email, register. That's it. All the winners are free. And then pull up the truck to the bank. Pull up the pickup truck or the Range Rover, open the back to the bank, and the winners are coming, baby. Thank you, Sean.
All right, guys, now moving on. I just want to talk baseball. Sean, I know you're a big baseball fan, and Rick, you love baseball too. Now listen, Shohei Ohtani, this guy is leading the major leagues with 32 home runs. He made the All-Star game as a player and as a pitcher, and this is what baffles me. The hitting instructor for the Angels says he hasn't taken batting practice once this season. He doesn't take batting practice. He does a couple like little pepper balls, whatever, and then he saves his swings for the game. Guys, could you imagine? First of all, the talent of this guy is Babe Ruthian, but the fact that he's not taking swings before a game. Sean, could you imagine not throwing passes before a game, or Rick not just throwing a few shots or maybe a few elbows? I don't know what you did, Rick, to get warmed up, but this guy's unbelievable.
Frank, Rick, go ahead, man. How do you feel about him?
Hey, it's natural. It's just basically, sometimes guys are gifted, can walk on the court and play basketball all day. So I've grown up and seen a lot of players so great at playing golf, and you go like, this dude don't even pick up a golf club, or some guy that's great at pitching, and you go like, oh, you could do that. My thing is, you all have your routines. We all have our routines. Some people need to put more work into their stuff, and some people we look at, Sean, and I know. You done seen some players out there, you go like, man, that dude got the worst work ethic, but when that light comes on, ding, 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 yes. I'm good.
Yep, and Rick, you get both. You get that practice field or practice court All-American who couldn't drop it in the ocean if he was standing in a boat, and then you get the guy who sucks at practice. My man Jimmy Mack, Bears guy, and Mack, Rick, he's one of the all-time. Speaking of weed now, that's my guy. Mack would be the guy. He'd come up to me, go, kid, man, my shoulder, so I'm not going to practice today. Mack hated practice. He wasn't but boy, come game time, that bastard was tough as 100-year-old leather, and you won. One of the greatest guys ever. To answer the question about Ohtani, about 6 weeks ago on my show, my morning show on Sports Talk 790, iHeartRadio, shameless promo there,
plug.
6 to 10 Monday through Friday, the Sean Salisbury Show. I said he's the most unique athlete I've ever seen. Now, the best athlete, Bo Jackson, Dion, I didn't say, but when you look at what he's doing, he can throw 100, he can hit the ball 500 feet, he may go win home run derby, he's not taking batting practice. This guy, he's the most valuable player in baseball, not just because he pitches and hits. His numbers, we're not giving him a break. The dude puts up numbers. He's going to hit 50-plus home runs this year. I think he's the most unique athlete on the planet. I think he's special. I don't even think we've seen his best. He hadn't even tuned up with pitching yet. Wait till he decides that he's going to be the best at both. We're looking at, you're exactly right, Frank. This is the next version of Babe Ruth, and he can hit it every bit as far, and especially the way the baseball flies. We're looking at something really, really unique and special, and we better enjoy it. He's worth the price of admission times 5.
Now listen, Rick Mahorn, it is Mahorn. It's spelled Mahorn. The reason I'm talking about spelling is last night, the first African-American ever to win a spelling bee. This 14-year-old girl, I think she was from Louisiana, Zaila Avantgarde, she won the Scripps Howard Spelling Bee. This is big. Listen, guys, GREATSHOW. Great show, as always. I love being on with you guys. I think Milwaukee is in trouble. We're going to see next week when we're here. We could have an NBA champ, right? They play Sunday and maybe, what would it be, Tuesday or Wednesday? So next week we might have an NBA champ, or Milwaukee comes back. We're going to find out. But one thing I do know is we love having Rick Mahorn. I want the series to go 7 so we can have Rick Mahorn stay on the show and talk NBA stuff with us. You guys are both in Vegas. Rick, have fun at the Big 3 tourney kicking off this weekend. You guys, I hope you guys meet up for a drink or to see each other while you're both in Vegas. We love having you guys tune into Krush House. We'll be back next week with an all-new show, GOODBYE. Goodbye. I'm Frank Nicotero, Krush House, Krush House Network. See you guys next week. I'm still in Pittsburgh. This Diet Dr. Pepper is going to turn into something else real soon. I just smashed my finger under my cousin's desk. Oh.